So now that we got most of the upgrades to the truck itself done, we're working on the Hurricane. And you might notice this looks a little different than it did last time.
Yeah, barren. There's not much on there.
Yeah, there's not much going on here. We've stripped it basically down to like a long block, which has been very interesting. We've learned a lot, and we've removed a lot of stuff we really didn't need.
Or didn't like. We didn't like it, we got rid of it.
Yeah, that's true. So the side we're working on right now is the exhaust side here, and you're gonna see there's no twin turbos.
Turbos have left the chat.
So we cleaned up a lot of stuff over here, like he said. If we didn't like it, we just got rid of it, and we're gonna figure it out. I mean, honestly, a lot of it was really unnecessary and not going to be used with the setup that we're doing next, which leads us to, we are working on one of the first, if not the first, single turbo Hurricane.
Yep, so this is obviously in progress. You can see I don't have a front runner, but made some flanges up using an Elmer billet collector. And this is just gonna be a 2-to-1 T4 divided with twin 40mm wastegates. So it should be pretty slick when it's done. A lot of this is just mock-up, but we're pretty close. So let's get this on here. You can kind of see where it's gonna land.
Yep, luckily we got plenty of room in the truck.
Yeah, it's pretty much wide open. So these, I'm gonna have to cut these loose and angle them down and make a couple other small changes. But so far, we're pretty happy with the placement. Puts the turbo right here in the center, and should be pretty straightforward. So the main reason we're doing this over, well, for one, keeping the stock twins or doing a different twin turbo setup is, for one, the stock twins are basically maxed out. They've got them cranked very high. The truck makes like 30 to 32 pounds of boost. It has a pretty violent boost taper in it because of the turbos being maxed out. More or less, we went with the single because we know what works. Twins are fine. There are some advantages to having twin turbos, but you know, I come from turbo 4-cylinder stuff, and we know what turbos perform the way we want them to, if that makes sense. So we're going with something that I've kind of used before in the past. We're just trying to keep it simple, to be honest.
I think it's going to be super cool. It also gives us a lot more room to work with in the future, because the stock twins, like you said, were pretty much maxed out, and we want to take this thing quite a bit further than where we were, so we were kind of capped at that point.
Yeah.
And doing, you know, bigger twins also, you know, like you said, there's some advantages there, but this single turbo, I feel like, is going to give us the power band that we really want.
Should be really cool. It's got a few more pipes to fit up here. We're going to do a little bit of mock-up and get the turbo on when it comes in, which I believe will be here tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to show you the progress of putting the rest of this manifold together. Like he said, we tacked this together just for mock-up reasons to make sure we were going to have it in the right spot and everything was going to clear. So now we're going to go ahead and try to weld the rest of it out.
It's getting warm fast. Something like that. And see how I have the flange kind of angled towards the driver's side? That's to point the downpipe closer to the cylinder head and also get the compressor angled more outward. So hopefully that will work. Gonna work.
Looks like it.
Yeah, close anyway.
Just need one more piece down there.
Yeah, tiny little sliver. So another thing we're addressing here is the intake side. Well, I guess this would be the intercooler. Charge air cooler, whatever Dodge likes to call it. But we took the stock plastic end tank off because it had 2 inlets, because obviously it's twin turbo. So we're eliminating that, and we're making a sheet metal aluminum inlet for a 3-inch charge pipe to go with our handy dandy turbo we got. So it should help flow, but mostly, to be honest, it's, well, I'd say it's 50% flow and 50% aesthetics, because we're trying to go with a different look here. But it should be pretty cool when it's done.
Yeah,
So,
it's OEM plus.
it is OEM plus. OEM plus plus.
Plus
2
plus.
pluses here. Oh no! How? I measured that.
Oh no. There we go.
Hey.
Yeah, but like.
Second time's the charm. Are you making fun of how slow Jimmy is?
Wheelies.
It's not slow anymore.
Ugh,
This is
they're
like
laughing
before
at me.
blower. This is like 26
Pre-blower. Yeah,
Ironically, it was your fastest pass.
it was, only because my belt flew off. I'm sad to report
That's
that.
a lot. Just go to the track and, well, no.
I got 2/10 off my time.
Not anymore, though. You take your belt off.
Oh yeah, I'll lose 200 horsepower if my belt comes off now.
Yeah.
You be nice to Jimmy.
I am nice with Jimmy. Me and Jimmy are homies. You go way back. I don't know.
You're about to. It's cool. That's a hard piece to make and have it fit that well. Good job, David.
Look at him go. Look how handsome he is, too.
Wow. All right. I'll look at it.
So one of the biggest hurdles we ran into doing this manifold is actually kind of a silly one. And the way Dodge designed the cylinder head, you'll see one flange points kind of straight out, slightly downward angle, and the front port angles up. So with studs in here, you can't actually take the manifold on and off because it's a single piece. So that's kind of why I have bolts just set in here for the time being. We're probably just going to continue to run a bolt and then a stud on the back, or vice versa, because of that silly little problem.
You know, just in case we need to get it off.
Yeah. If not, you gotta pull the studs out. It's really silly. It's kind of funny because I didn't actually think about that until I was like halfway done with the manifold. So,
You're like, wait a minute.
I was like, hold on, it's like one of them like finger traps.
Like a puzzle.
Yeah. But other than that, it looks good. Pretty happy with it.
It was fairly simple. Luckily, it was only 2 tubes.
Yeah. Yeah. You think, oh, it's 2 tubes. It's pretty easy, but trying to get all these angles correct has been.
It was
else.
challenging. We played a lot of Legos, that's for sure. In addition to the manifold, we actually got our turbo yesterday as well, which we are super excited about. So
very excited. And that's the whole reason for doing a single turbo manifold.
This guy right here.
This guy. This is a next gen 6870. So it's ball bearing.
Yep.
And it's a very proven turbocharger. Like this thing, well, actually had on my gray car a turbo similar to this. It had a slightly bigger turbine wheel, but I was able to make 900 horsepower at like 38 PSI with that thing.
Out of a 4-cylinder.
Yeah, out of a 2.4 liter. So it's an incredible series of turbos. BMW guys use them a lot, and I think it's gonna be a really good fit for this. Fuel permitting, I think we should do pretty well.
Yeah. That'll be the challenging part, but I think we've got some room, and we're super excited about this. Shout out to Precision, because they were awesome. They were very interested in this Hurricane, which is cool. Being a brand new platform, seems like a lot of people are, but it's also a really cool platform.
Yeah.
Very similar to the B58s, and they made this turbo for us super fast. Obviously, with Roadkill, we're always on a super tight deadline, so always appreciate the extra rush. But it looks really cool on there too.
Oh yeah. Big fan of this thing. My hands are too sweaty.
Turbo guys know these bolts always suck.
I'm just gonna put them in here real loose so we can stare at it.
Yeah.
It's close enough, good enough.
God, it looks so cool.
Look at that thing. Looks slightly different than it did before, that's for sure.
Yeah, just a little different. Here, I'm gonna grab one of the stock turbos. And just for comparison's sake here, this is one of the stock ones. So, just a little bit different.
Oh yeah. It's a tiny little guy.
Tiny little guy. I mean, granted there were two, but
Still.
yeah, and these guys were pretty maxed out. We're not gonna be putting these back on.
Nope, not anytime soon anyway.
No. All right, so we officially have a single turbo manifold for the Hurricane.
It's like 80% done, to be fair. We still gotta put the wastegates on, but we gotta do some placing of them and figuring out some stuff there. Yeah, so far we're really happy with it. This is probably the first one to have a single turbo on it. It's a pretty cool little piece, so, and for the technical stuff, for those that care, it's 321 stainless, Schedule 10 tubing, pretty cut and dry. We have the billet Elmer collector on there. A friend of mine, local shop, did the flanges. So you guys saw us working on this piece as well. David put in a lot of hours on this and we're super appreciative. It's really cool. So essentially it's just a new in tank, and you can see there it's a stock piece that we removed. You can see the dual inlets for, you know, the twin turbos. So now this square region here, we're gonna be cutting it out and putting a like a Wiggins style quick release clamp on here. It'll be 3-inch, and it's gonna basically just go across the front over here into the turbo. So that way we'll have a lot more room on the top here, which, you know, we have plenty of hood clearance, but the idea is to be able to get to the spark plugs and everything easier for, you know, general maintenance and whatnot.
Yeah, there was so much stuff up there before. Like, it was just way too busy. You couldn't get to anything, not even a coil pack if you wanted to, really. So,
and honestly, you know, part of why we're doing this too is we want to, like, again, develop this platform the best we can, but we want to see how, like, compact we can get it. There's a lot of other cool cars that maybe one day we want to put one in. So you never know.
This is what they had on, over the top with this, obviously, underneath of it.
Yep.
So this gets rid of a lot of plastic.
Yes, it does. And, you know, we have the intake that ran across the front here, like the OEM piece. That'll be gone. The turbo is essentially going to come over here to this side. And we'll probably run the little velocity stack that we have in the grill here. We're probably going to move it over to this side. But it should be cool. Really excited to get this thing wrapped up.
And then we also, I don't know if you guys may have seen in our previous video, we got that Proform radiator, the slim fit, that's only like 4 inches thick. Well, we got another one for this to give us a lot more room up here. Like he was talking about, we're trying to make it a little bit more compact and easier to work on, easier to get to, because it was a little overwhelming to look at before. So this should be a lot closer. We'll have all that room up front to run that pipe. We should be good to go. Polishing always sounds like a good idea until you've been sitting on the floor with a sander for 3 hours. This is the intercooler, and this is that top bit that you saw our friend David help us make here. And it was made with some pretty rough aluminum. Pretty sure it was just out of the scrap pile, but I don't know if you can even see the divots that are still in there. I've been working on this for a while. It had some pretty deep gashes in it. This is just the first hit with 600, so obviously I have several stages to go, but for some reason we decided to polish everything on our raggedy farm truck. We have also made a pretty significant amount of progress up here. Jason's been working on the turbo kit and tons of other fun stuff.
Yep, so we've got the turbo basically done. Manifolds completed. We've got both wastegates in place. We've got some push lock fittings on there. We've got the dump tubes kind of configured. There's a few changes we're gonna make down there, but we're gonna get them out the fender well. Should be really slick once that's all done. See, we got the oil lines on and plumbed. There's some adjusting still there. It's just kind of hanging out for now, but that's basically done. Pretty cool PCV stuff we've been working on up here. We're gonna run a vented catch can. So we've been kind of playing around in some motion racework stuff here. And this is actually a fitting for a Coyote Mustang, which oddly enough fits right in the valve cover. I was pretty excited to figure that out.
For some reason, it's the same thing.
Yeah, basically the same engine, you know?
Yeah. Well, we started polishing the turbo. I was just talking about how we decided to polish everything for some reason.
Yeah, we did. For some reason, that just seems like a great idea.
Our nice pickup truck.
Right. You know, you might hit the buffer on here too while we're at it.
Yeah, it's a showstopper.
Yeah, pretty much.
Working on some wiring stuff now.
This stuff here is not cool.
No, that's terrible.
So I'm gonna dig headfirst into something that's completely unnecessary and probably move all the wiring and ECU inside the cab.
Yeah, that's something we weren't super happy about from
No.
the begin with, is this harness right here, the engine harness, is really short. So we didn't have a lot of room to really put the ECU where we wanted to. Not a huge fan of having it in the engine bay for multiple reasons. Obviously for aesthetics, it doesn't look great. There's just a ton of stuff piled over there. But also just for safety, especially with it being so close to the turbo now. Don't want any of that stuff getting hot. So Jason's going to work some magic here and try and relocate that stuff in there. We have a plate made for the firewall, so he's just gonna try and tuck it behind that inside the cab.
Keyword there was magic, so.
Magic.
It shouldn't be too bad. The biggest thing is gonna be some of this truck wiring that we had to integrate in there, which, you know, again, it was last minute stuff, so we're gonna clean some of that up and just see what we can do about moving it over, so.
But yeah, there's honestly just a bunch of loose ends left that we're tying up, like figuring out some of the weird water lines that I had before, some of the PCV stuff that he was talking about. So we're just taking this time to make some updates and changes, you know, while we're here.
Exactly.
The dangerous while we're here game.
Oh, that escalates.
Yeah, and meanwhile, there is 27 days till Roadkill.
27 days, and we still got to do a good amount of stuff. Dyno the truck, sort that stuff out, and then we want to test the truck because there's going to be a lot of changes here. So
Yep,
week by week, we're trying to hit our targets.
time is going by so fast.
So fast.
So we're gonna go ahead and get back to work. We have 23 days until Roadkill Nights. But hey, it's starting to look like something.
Yeah, it definitely is.
We've been making some progress over the last week. As you can see, the polishing we were talking about is done. For some reason, I spent like, I don't know, maybe 2 days polishing this turbo. It looks cool.
It sure looks cool.
Yeah. The intercooler is permanently in. Jason made this cool charge pipe. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I believe since then we have also mounted the Proform radiator,
Yep.
which you know how we guys, you know how we love these things. Gave us a little bit more room to run that charge pipe up there. So excited about that. Jason removed a lot of the unnecessary wiring and stuff that was up here. A lot of plastic's been removed. We haven't had a chance to address that yet.
No, not yet. And we might put that off a little bit longer per the usual because we were running out of time.
Yeah.
That's just what happens, you know?
Yeah.
But we did clean up the middle here, got some stuff out of the way. It's better than it was.
For
we have
sure.
room for things, and it looks presentable.
Yeah, I would definitely say it looks presentable. It's better than it was, and I feel like at this point, it looks a lot more serious and not like we just, you know, plucked it out of a Grand Wagoneer.
It's gone past like OEM plus. You know, we're almost tickling race car at this point.
Whoa,
I know.
take it easy.
I know, crazy.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, well, you know, you're gonna be polishing pipes and stuff now, so you know, won't be so much
Yeah.
dust under the hood.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring a bottle of polish along with us wherever we go. By the way, don't mind the messy table, but this is the polish we've been using. Found this stuff, somebody recommended it to me a couple years ago, and it is really awesome. So if you guys need polish, there you go.
Highly recommend it. Oh, the AC wiring that was along the back here.
Oh, yep.
Got rid of all of that.
We got the plate mounted back here, so that giant hole's covered up also.
Yeah.
I did my best to match the paint color, but
Considering it was a rattle can engine spray paint, I'm fairly certain.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are currently in the process of mounting the catch can. That's what that little bracket is right there. We decided to ball out and get a Motion Raceworks catch can, but it's really nice and honestly worth every penny
Yeah.
that we paid because like it's quality, it's solid, the fittings go in smooth, everything fits as it should, which, you know, these days with car parts, it's kind of rare.
Yeah. Quality is not something that people are proud of anymore.
Yeah.
So
So we're moving right along. I don't think there's a whole lot left. What's next on our list?
Finish my little bits of exhaust. We got to finish polishing the turbo inlet pipe, and then we need to replace some fuel lines. We had a little incident there.
Yep.
I think it's about ready to fire up.
Yeah, so
that'll be
we're
cool.
really close to putting fluids in it and firing it up. The little incident he was talking about is we powered up the truck to make sure, you know, everything still works. And we were like, man, I smell gas.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like more prominent than usual. So we came up here and started looking around, and the feed line down there had burst for some reason, and it was
Yeah.
just pouring out gas.
Really bizarre considering the last couple times we drove the truck, it was fine. Sat here and maybe a month or so, hit the key and it started dumping fuel everywhere. So we don't know if we nicked it with the saw or something getting wild over there, but definitely not great. So we're gonna have to pull all that off.
Yeah, I mean, it works out because we got to put a fuel pump in it anyway.
Yep.
But we're just gonna have to have a field day with the fuel stuff. That'll be up next, but we're starting to get somewhere. Well, we checked a few big things off the list since last night, and we're getting down to that time where it's a bit of a crunch. So we're just needing to like really get stuff done, and we're bad about stopping and recording stuff. So sorry
Not
about
us.
that.
No way.
We got our catch can mounted. We got all the lines run for that. We fixed the fuel, and we moved that off of the fender back onto the firewall to clean that up a little bit. And we got the inlet tube all polished up to match everything. And that actually has a velocity stack out here to pull in some cool air. So there's a purpose for that weird pipe.
Yeah, we're pretty stoked about that. It's pretty neat because that's going to be the track configuration. And then if you take off this piece here, you just put a cone filter on the end of it, and it will do filtering things.
Yep, so he made that dual purpose, so we didn't have to make two completely separate intakes.
Yeah.
So that'll work out pretty nice for drag and driving.
Oh yeah, because it does a lot of that.
It does a lot. We are getting really close. I'd probably say we're like, what, 95%?
Yeah, we only have, from this point, let's see if I can remember off the top of my head, we have the blow-off valve I got to put on, boost solenoid wiring, which is literally 2 wires, put water in it, finish the little bit of exhaust, and extend the dump tubes, wire the water box.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's everything.
I think that's-
no, we got to put the interior back together.
Why? What for?
Well, I mean, you're right. But to be fair, that should be pretty easy. It's literally
Yeah.
just bolting the seats to the floor. Everything else is already in there and ready. So we are pretty dang close.
We're gonna glue some more metal together and hopefully fire it up.
Yep. So last night we managed to get pretty much everything done on the truck. We got the water box all wired up. We got the blow-off valve on. Jason fixed the dump tubes. They're looking super cool. And the only thing we didn't do was the exhaust because, well, we didn't want to do that to our neighbors at like 1 in the morning. Jason's working on that now, and that is the final piece to the puzzle, so we're getting really close. How's it going?
Sweaty.
Yeah.
Like, incredibly sweaty.
You want to know what the worst thing in the world is?
What's that?
Welding in Florida summer.
Yeah. Well, most people don't realize when you're TIG welding, you can't just have a fan blowing on you because
Yeah.
it'll blow your shielding gas away. And we don't have air conditioning because we're poor. So, yeah, we just
You just
sweat.
sweat.
A lot.
You can see me in it. We have a pipe. I think this is what we'd call straight piped.
Yeah. Very straight.
Very straight. All looks really good. Downpipe's done. A lot easier with just one through there now. And again, these dump tubes are done and they're super cool. I can't wait to hear how this thing sounds. And we're gonna fire it up here pretty soon because I think we are done. Maybe. I don't know. It seems weird because we've been so far away for a while. I feel like we're forgetting something for sure. I don't know. Don't mind the mess. It's been a time.
It's break time.
This thing is done. And thank God, because so are we. Whew, this has been a rough week. We have put in a huge push to try and finish this thing. We have 20 days-ish.
I don't
Left.
even know.
But honestly, it's not bad. That gives us time to get it on the dyno, gives us time to test and really make sure this thing is working since we changed so much. We thought this was maybe going to be a little easier since we already had a running truck, but honestly, this has been like just as challenging as the first year.
If not harder, honestly, because, you know, we had to come up with all these ideas on our own, and then to execute them in a short amount of time is crazy stressful, honestly.
Yeah, it is. And it, like he was saying, it definitely was a little bit harder because we had to put a lot of brain power into what we were going to do with this because we didn't know what direction we wanted to go. And as many of you know, I'm sure there's a fine line between keeping it still a useful thing that you enjoy and like taking it too far. So I think we nailed that.
Yeah.
As long as everything works as it should.
Yeah. I guess we'll see once it goes on the dyno. And,
we'll see.
You know, all that stuff.
For sure. But we just never wanted to, you know, push it beyond something that we weren't going to still enjoy and do drag and drives and all that fun stuff. Yeah, there's obviously a ton of changes here besides the obvious.
Turbos, intercoolers, blow-off valves, all kinds of weird stuff that is very traditional but extremely foreign to this truck. I think it came out really good. I'm super happy with it, but I'm tired.
Yeah. Very tired, but yeah, it's looking super good. I feel like it definitely looks a bit more serious than it did, not like we just plucked it out of a Grand Wagoneer.
More serviceable now too. Like you don't have all the stuff on the top, so now plug changes. The coils are right there, very easy to get to. You know, the catch can, all that stuff's easy to maintain. There's a few little wires like this guy. This is the map sensor for the PCV that I gotta delete still, and some other things that I wasn't 100% sure on, but it's basically what it's gonna look like, and it's awesome.
Yeah, really happy with it. I think it just came out super cool. I'm glad we polished everything as much of a pain as it was. It just really pops, and we wanted the changes that we made to pop, you know, because it's a completely brand new platform, and you know, we're really excited to be some of the first ones to start messing with it. So we just wanted those changes to really stick out.
And for a quick recap here, the mods, basically we'll go over everything we did real quick, but first and foremost is obviously the turbo. It's a 6870 Precision T4, it's a 115 AR twin scroll. Obviously built the custom twin scroll manifold ourselves here. It has two 40mm precision wastegates on it, external obviously. And on this side we have the precision blow-off valve. I'm not sure if there's any specifications on that, but it's a nice little piece. Very good fit and finish on that. Intercooler, obviously custom. Our lovely friend David pretty much did all the work on that, came up with the design. It's genius, honestly. We're really excited to see how that performs.
Yeah, that's very OEM plus.
Yeah, and just to touch on that a little bit, the stock intercooler core on this thing is actually really efficient, and it's pretty big for what it is. I mean, this engine's designed to go in a truck, Grand Wagoneer, stuff like that. It's towing trailers, it's climbing mountains, all that jazz. So they put a lot of R&D into the cooling. So with that being said, this thing already ran like 32 pounds of boost before, and we've monitored the IATs and all that, and it did a very good job with the small turbos. So we think with this combination, this is going to move a lot cooler air. I think it's going to be good, but we'll see what happens. You know, maybe it's not as good as we think, but
yeah, I mean, this is all part of the like R&D process, if you will. We're trying to figure out what's going to work and what's not.
For sure, for sure.
But we tried to maintain as much of the like factory quality as we could, I guess.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, again, the manufacturer spent a lot of time designing this stuff. So if there's something that we think is a good piece and it's gonna get us to our goals, we're gonna try to work with that the best we can. You know, obviously we know, some other stuff was beyond its limitations. That's pretty much the gist of that. Obviously, as far as we changed the radiator as well, that's that ProForm Slim Fit. Really nice unit there. Space, just overall fit and finish, it's just a great piece. And then we did the hard pipes, just because the outlets were a little bit different and kind of wanted to dress it up a little more. Changed the water outlet on the engine to match some of that. I don't know if I mentioned the catch can or not. That's a Motion Raceworks piece. Again, really, really high quality. We wanted something that, again, we knew we could trust. Also, we wanted something to go with kind of the level of quality we're putting in this engine bay. And I think that that nails it there.
Yeah, it really sets it off.
Yeah, for sure. And some of their fittings here, which ironically the Coyote piece fits right in the valve cover, which is pretty cool. And this is one of their like slip-on deals. It's again, really nice, easy to work with, and it's good quality stuff. The last thing we did is some fuel system stuff, nothing really exciting. We put a Hellcat pump, a 525 in the back. It had a 340 in it, which was probably enough, but for the sustained fuel pressure this thing likes to see, it's 90 PSI base pressure. It's pretty high. So we opted to put that pump in just for some safety, and you know, we're gonna push more power, so we wanted to make sure we had more fuel. As far as that goes, I think that's basically everything we did, is it not?
Pretty much. Aside from the fab work that was obviously involved in pretty much everything that we did.
So what is next, Morgan?
So the next step of this process is going to be the truck hitting the dyno for the first time ever, actually.
That's really exciting, and I wish we did a baseline, but again, time didn't really allow that.
We know roundabout power that it was making before. Obviously, we never put it on a dyno, but just mathematically, the times that it was running and the weight and everything, we have a rough idea. But obviously, this is going to be way different, and we don't really know what to expect. So that'll be very interesting. But that will be our next video, so stay tuned for that. And then as soon as we're done with that, we're gonna get some testing in. So there's some exciting stuff coming very soon, but for now, we're going to bed.
See you later.
See you next time.